Zola.
I'm a big fan of these Saturday morning recordings. I feel much less pressured to get it done and out soon, and I don't have to edit it the same day, and I can just sit here and have my coffee and talk to my boys.
You seem cheery today.
I am.
With your Grinch ass background.
It's on brand, dude. You got to stick to on brand media.
That's fine. That's fair with me. Yeah, I do like these Saturday morning recordings. I'm not high or drunk yet, so it's like I'm sober by.
You could easily rectify that.
Yeah, now I'm just a plain idiot. Now I don't have an excuse.
Are you not a wake and bake guy, Brick?
No, sometimes it really depends on how I'm feeling, what I got to do.
You got to take your Adderall. Let your Adderall kick in first.
Oh yeah, I got to get Kramered out.
No, dude, if you got a hangover though, you gotta.
That's a instant
headache.
Oh yeah, I was a little hungover after Thanksgiving. Lots of vino. I brought the bottles that I paid for excessively from Naked Wines. It was perfect for the holidays, but yeah, that got a little toasted.
Is there just going to be like an insane bump in the coronavirus cases because everybody got together for Thanksgiving, even though we were all supposed to stay home?
That, and with Christmas coming up too, it's just going to be like good start to 2021. Everybody stay home again. Let's redo this one.
Everybody was talking about how they're going to stay home, and then you see, cut to a news shot of, whatever airport, O'Hare just packed to the gills with people traveling for Thanksgiving. Like, I don't think they're doing it right.
Exactly. And I think the NFL, I don't know what this week more than anything has been, star players have been just knocked out left and right. We got Thielen. We got our boy Lamar Jackson is out. I have him in my other league.
He's always in your other league. I was going to say he's not your boy. He's on my team and we're playing each other.
Yeah, but he's out and I'm out too. I also picked up Derek Carr.
Quick, Brick. Would you rather have Lamar Jackson play this week because he's in your other league, or are you happy with him being out because you're playing against me?
Again, it's catch-22. I actually need to win more in our league than in my.
So you would rather have Lamar in this week, is what I'm hearing.
It's not like he's been in the league. He's playing the Steelers too, like one of the better defenses in the league. It's not like he's been great.
No, he's been bad.
But the problem is, I think he's. Well, it's tough because COVID isn't that like that's a 2-week minimum.
And if he actually has it, or if he just needs to clear the protocol. Like if he was close contact, high risk, they don't really say for HIPAA reasons like it's a violation. So he could have it, or he could have just been exposed, or maybe he just came out and said it. Who knows?
Yeah, I just saw a new tweet from Adam Schefter saying that 3 more positives for the Steelers just kind of took place. So now is that game? It's a Tuesday game now. Is that going to be? Is it more in jeopardy? Are they going to play it? Both teams had their byes.
The Ravens were supposed to play on Thursday too, so they pushed that to next Monday. So,
I do love the double Mondays. Those double Monday night games are fantastic. I do enjoy that.
I don't know, man. I think I'd rather have a Tuesday night game than a Thursday night game. Like I would rather they go Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then take time. Plus, I think it'd be easier on the players. But Tuesday's like the worst day of the week. It's not for us, me and Mark, because we play D&D, and I always look forward to that. But to me, Tuesday's always worse than Monday because people at work expect you to like be already back on top of shit after a Monday where you take it easy and you ease yourself in.
Yeah,
Tuesdays.
Nothing worse than people expecting to do things on Mondays too. Mondays are my easing day. Tuesdays I can get down to business. But
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Being in the corporate work world, that's the reason why I take Mondays off. And a lot of people take Fridays off. I'm like, that's the biggest mistake because people are already checked out for the week. I'm like, you take a Monday off if you want to be smart about it.
Completely agree. So did you guys also see that Sarah Fuller is set to make her debut as the kicker for Vanderbilt college football team? Kicker out there in the NCAA.
Wasn't there already a female kicker in the NCAA?
I think there has been. Probably not as high profile as Vanderbilt. I know they're not good. They haven't been for a while, but they are an SEC team.
Yeah.
They are an SEC team, right? I think so.
So I'm pretty sure they are.
Yeah. So that's interesting. I don't see. I don't know. Everybody's like, oh, it's a girl. She can't. Like, it's a fucking kicker. Kickers aren't real football players, anyways. Who fucking cares? Let her kick.
Exactly. I'm with you on that one. Let's see. I'm trying to double check. They are in the Southeastern Conference. Yep, that's
okay.
SEC. Cool. And they're currently losing right now. Apparently, they're playing live.
They're
0-7.
Yeah, they're terrible. Where do you stand on kickers in fantasy football?
I was originally in the first league I ever played in was with my dad and in his league. They had a scoring system where it was 3, 4, 5 for a 30, 40, and 50-yard field goal. But every yard after a 50-yard field goal was another point. So if you kicked a 60-yarder, that was like a 20-point, or that was a 15-point kick.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Kickers were insane. Like Sebastian Janikowski back in the day, just booting bangers from like forever away. Just got racking up points. You're just like, all right, Sebastian Janikowski, just take it easy. But kickers for me, I don't know.
My league is really close to kicking me out of the group chat just because every week I come on and say, fuck kickers. They shouldn't be in the league. I don't think they should even be in the NFL. Fuck kickers. The game is so much more interesting without kickers.
Get into the goddamn end zone. None of this bullshit. I almost made it. Maybe we'll kick another field goal and get 3 points.
Think of all the extra excitement you would get if on a 4th down, you just have to go for it. Like you're at the opponent's 20-yard line. You're not going to punt it. You have to go for it. That would be so much better.
I agree.
I'm just thinking of like overtime. Overtime fucking sucks usually because it's like, all right, well, if the first possession, they have to turn it over on the first possession, then it's like, okay, as long as they get within like range, 40 yards, it's game over.
Yeah.
Usually.
That's my diatribe. I hate kickers all around. I think it's stupid. I don't have any personal vendettas against them, but it's just, I don't think they belong in football. And also, while I'm at it, pass interference yards should count as fantasy points. It helps your team. There's nothing worse than like a 40-yard bomb and the DB just tackles your receiver. And you still move down the field, but the receiver and the quarterback get 0 points. It's so fucking stupid. I
would say maybe half of the yardage goes towards your fantasy team because he didn't technically make the catch. But I would like to see some, like those bombs, I do agree. Green straw, what are you, Starbucks guy?
It is a Starbucks cup.
Wow. But yeah, I would like to see some. It always is a bummer. You're like, oh yeah, the guy moved downfield 50 yards. Now it's a 1-yard run for Ezekiel Elliott rather than the actual bomb that he should have had.
Very stupid.
The one thing I am thankful for regarding NFL kickers is that Grammatica doesn't play football anymore because he was the worst fucking guy in the world, just celebrating every time. And then finally it caught up to him where he was jumping up and down. Remember when he was, I think he was on the Cardinals.
I thought he was in the Bucks.
Yeah, he was on the Bucks.
Was he? And he fucking just tears his ACL, right?
But yeah, I don't know. Like it's hard to celebrate when a guy gets hurt. But when he does it from actually celebrating on the field, it's really fucking stupid.
So bad.
And not just like a sprained ankle. Like if you tear your ACL and you need surgery because you were celebrating after a play, oof. Hard for me to feel pity for you. But yeah.
Dumbest thing ever.
We good on football because I have a voicemail for us.
I have one. Do you have a pick to click?
You a bet for tomorrow?
Yes.
Go for it.
So Teddy Two Gloves is back, surprisingly, playing against his former team, Minnesota, the Vikings. Vikings are -3 because they're at home, but they're missing Adam Thielen. I honestly think Carolina money line on this one.
Carolina
Minnesota
is the worst run defense in the league. Dalvin Cook is going to have 400 yards against them.
But Teddy Two Gloves is going to stick. He's going to stick with them.
Do you think that he really when you look at Teddy, I don't think he has revenge in his veins. He doesn't seem like that psychopath, like the Tom Brady. Like Tom Brady still hates Nick Foles because Nick Foles beat him in the Super Bowl.
Right. Teddy is a silent killer. He's just going to use that and play on the field. You're not going to know with his demeanor. He's very calm, but that's good for a quarterback to have a calm demeanor.
I love Teddy Two Gloves, but what about Silent but Tedley?
That is a great nickname.
Not bad, right?
But it's also after a fart, so I don't know.
If he's deadly out there, who cares? Who cares how he does it? If he's just farting the bottle, we're still good.
Yeah, I'm in.
All right. So Teddy is the new representative of this podcast. We have a voicemail that I want to get to because I don't know if Kyle saw this on Twitter. It's been kind of all over Twitter lately. So we have an easy layup this week if you were searching for this. But let's hear what Kyle has to say.
Kyle, seeing how it is Thanksgiving and we got some movie questions, I guess I wanted to know, is there a movie where you really wanted to like eat what they were eating, or like which show had like food that you would like to that you wouldn't mind partaking in? Kind of an odd question. I'm kind of an odd person, but nonetheless, super thankful for you guys in the total shitstorm that has been 2020. Thanks for everything.
You're the man, Uncle Kyle.
Thank you, Kyle.
So if you're in the stream,
your questions,
probably a little bit quiet, so I'll just repeat the basis of this. We're talking about movie food, like something you see on screen on a movie or a TV show where you're like, I gotta have that. So, Brick, we were kind of kicking this back and forth in the Discord. You want to get this started?
The first thing that came to my mind was kind of an odd one, but Hook, when they are having the giant feast and the food fight. To start out, Robin Williams can't see shit, but he has to use his imagination, and all of a sudden there's like the biggest feast of all time with the most colored pies and treats. And as a kid, I was like, give me all of that food right now, immediately. I want to stuff my goddamn gullet with it.
Paul is in the chat and he says gobstoppers. And I wanted to get to Willy Wonka. There's a lot of stuff in Willy Wonka, like the fizzy stuff that just makes you weightless. That would be pretty cool until you float into the sun. But
yeah, nightmare. Well, all you have to do is just start being a silent but Tedley with your fart. You can start to descend.
I'm really proud of myself for that nickname, and that was on the spot too. So,
oh my god,
I know how cheesy it is, but I don't care. Mark, do you have something for this?
I have a few. Actually, the first one I thought of was it's a scene where I would like to be there, which it sounds fucked up after I tell you what it is. Not more so because of the food. Everyone in the scene looked like they were thoroughly enjoying themselves eating all this shit. But it was the scene in Alien where it's basically their last meal, where the guy is like, the guy before the fucking alien chest busts out of his fucking body. They're all eating together, and then fucking it just goes wrong, where the chest buster comes out and everyone starts freaking out. But beforehand, the meal didn't even look that bad.
What about the breakfast sandwich in a more recent movie, Harley Quinn, where she is on the verge of murdering people because she can't just eat her goddamn breakfast sandwich?
I forgot about that one.
What about the cake scene from Matilda? Where the kid has to eat that big ass chocolate cake.
That was like disturbing because that kid had to finish that cake. I would not want to finish that fucking big ass cake.
It was like a standard piece of cake, and I'm watching it right now. He is licking his fucking chops with all that chocolate on there.
Do you ever eat so much of a leftover dessert though that you just start buzzing from all the sugar? You're just like,
all the time. Family parties, like for Christmas and Thanksgiving, I used to just sit by like the fucking M&Ms and Dove chocolates, and I used to eat it until I literally had to take a nap because I was spinning from the fucking sugar rush.
Speaking of, how about the spaghetti and syrup from Elf?
Tasty. Zero zilch.
What about reservations at Dorsia?
Because of that, though, like how many people are just like, you know what? Fuck it. They get really stoned, like brick level stone, and they're just like, I'm going to try this.
I think we have to talk about animated food a little bit, though, because like Ratatouille, there's a lot of food in that movie besides the fact that a fucking rat is preparing it.
Yeah, that's not ideal. Yeah.
Spirited Away, before they go into before Chihiro goes into the bathhouse, fucking her parents are like eating all the bao buns and stuff before they turn into pigs. All that food looked fucking great.
Do you remember that really weird Disney short where the woman, it was a family of bao?
Bao, yeah.
It was literally called bao. That was the weirdest fucking thing ever.
And eating the bao, and it was like
delicious, though.
It did really look good. Didn't it turn into her child though? I
think it was before Incredibles 2.
Didn't it turn into her child though, or some shit?
Yeah, it was like some kind of weird fever dream that she had, where she was just like, "Yeah, my entire family is bao, of course."
Bao.
What about the pie in Mrs. Doubtfire, where Robin Williams sticks his face in it, is just hello.
Fresh whipped cream is delicious. I had freshly made whipped cream for Thanksgiving, and it was probably the best topping I've ever had.
I had one that would have been my real answer, but everybody on the internet just pounced on it, and it's the prison meal from Goodfellas, where they're talking about slicing garlic so finely with a razor blade that you just put it in the oil and it liquefies. Goodfellas is one of my all-time favorite movies, and it's that meal. Like, I watch that movie and it makes me hungry.
Damn, I'm looking at it right now. And Goodfellas, all-time movie.
I think it's the only role that I've ever seen Ray Liotta in that I actually liked him. Not that he's a bad, I mean like his character.
I see.
Usually he's just a shitbag, and something about his face just makes me think that like he's automatically a bad guy. Like when we saw him in Hubie Halloween not that long ago, and he was just being a dick to Adam Sandler for no reason.
Yeah.
Asshole.
He's got a dick face. What about G. Butts in A Law-Abiding Citizen when he gets the T-bone steak? That steak looked pretty good until he took the bone and just fucking stabbed that guy in the jugular with it.
No, that's super on. Speaking of on brand, I mean, that's perfectly on brand for you, because like you get horny when you see people get murdered and there's blood everywhere.
Yeah, that's
what
why
about
Alien is my scene.
Yeah, what about Hostel, where the guy's eating the guy's leg with like a fork and knife? Ooh.
Ooh, I wish I could partake in that.
Guy's like still alive.
I have one other thing I wanted to talk about before we kick off our news. This is a really slow news week, as Thanksgiving generally is. So there's this thing going on in the desert of Utah, and nobody can tell what the hell it is. It's basically this giant stainless steel type monolith it just appeared one day. People were looking for it. It essentially, oh, there's my Discord notifications. Hopefully nobody says anything racy. Somebody just found this, and the Utah Department of Health and Safety is just looking at it like, we have no fucking idea what this is. Is this a prank or is this aliens?
This is two people took too much peyote in the fucking desert of Utah and just was like, dude, we need to get this metal thing and just put it into the ground.
Brick, you're not far from this. I need you to drive and check it out.
Well, we can't. If you read the article a little bit more, they didn't disclose the location of it because it's actually hard to get to, apparently.
I mean, how dedicated are you to the show?
Well, this was your article, so I think
you got to drive out there.
You got to drive out there.
You're not like 2 hours away from this.
18-hour drive.
Yeah, fly in. I'll let you use my car. You can go ahead and figure it out from there. It's a Grand Cherokee. You can get up those hills.
What if it was both? What if it was aliens, but they were pranking us? They're like, oh, these fucking stupid ass humans think we do shit like this. They're like, let's just put this big ass stainless steel thing in the middle of the desert. Freak them out.
That might be the most likely scenario, to be perfectly honest with you, because we have all these theories on aliens and shit, and I'm almost positive that aliens exist. They're not like ghosts. Ghosts are fake. Aliens are real.
Wrong.
But we have the Fermi paradox, where the universe is so expansive that there basically has to be something else out there. Like it's just too coincidental. It would be too coincidental that we were the only species in the universe that survived.
Mm-hmm.
There's got to be aliens out there, and they have to be smarter than us, and they're definitely fucking with us.
Yeah, or it's like the master switch, and when you actually put enough pressure onto it, all the mechanical birds that are fake will die.
What if it's the reset button, and whatever aliens are out there are just like, fuck it, we give up on these idiots. Somebody pushes the button and it just starts from scratch.
Yeah, 2020, just go Big Bang.
Yeah, and this is the reset button to just set us back to zero. Reset to last checkpoint.
I always thought aliens would just come from a planet that was just a lot bigger than Earth, and naturally they would be bigger too. So they would just be like fucking skyscrapers and just touching down on Earth, and we'd be like, oh fuck. We always think like, oh, they're gonna be like semi our size, maybe like 7 feet tall or whatever. No, these motherfuckers are just like skyscrapers.
I just love talking about aliens.
Aliens are great.
Love aliens.
Way better than Ghosts.
Do we have a favorite space movie? Do we have a
Mars Attacks?
Mars Attacks is a
Some
classic.
severe lag in
Mars
that.
Attacks?
I hit that before you started talking, so
That's fine.
my
That's
bad.
fine. No worries.
Mars Attacks, ack. Like my kid makes noise, he grunts like that now, and he just reminds me constantly of those aliens.
Okay.
I've also been watching a lot of Simpsons reruns lately. Kang and Kodos. I look at the design. That design is over 30 years old. Like, who got really stoned and took a bunch of ayahuasca and was like, this is what these aliens need to look like?
Knowing the Simpsons, that they predicted it, and it's probably true. They probably look just like it, actually.
Erica I've slowly been easing her into it because they're all on Disney Plus now, and it's a really good show to just throw on in the background, and every now and then you'll catch a pop culture reference or a joke. And she was not familiar, as I'm sure we all are, with Simpsons predicted it, because they predict literally everything.
So many.
And it was the episode where Lisa, like the first flash forward episode they ever did, where Lisa is elected president, and she talks about the incumbent, who was Donald Trump. And Erica's like, wait a fucking second. This was 20 plus, probably 25 years ago. And they were talking about Trump being president then. I was very happy to blow her mind with that.
Kind of just blew my mind. I didn't realize that was the case. Simpsons are unbelievable.
I can't remember what episode it was from, but there's one where he's the president and he's like speaking in a mall. So they've always been on top of this shit.
Well,
but yeah.
News to us.
There we go. On time this time. Gentlemen, I sent you one trailer because, as I said, this is an extremely slow news week. What fresh hell has been unleashed upon the world that is Clifford the Big Red Dog?
It's the last thing I want to see.
It's borderline terrifying because this is almost uncanny valley type stuff. I know that's usually humans, but it's like a golden retriever that somebody just turned the red tint all the way up on. Mm-hmm. And it's just all green screen and there's normal dogs. And then you zoom out and it's Clifford. Yeah,
the big ass puppy. He's just a puppy though, which I can get behind, but I don't know. I'm who's asking for this? There was one person had a very funny stand-up bit. I forget who it was. It might have been Bill Burr. It might have been something along those lines. They're talking about like the collateral damage of like Clifford the Big Red Dog and how he like goes into a. I'll have to find it. Maybe I'll post it in our Discord. But I did see something funny on a Reddit request. Approximately how big would Clifford's penis be? 3. Yeah. So this guy responded, I'll take a shot at this. An average Labrador penis is between 6.5 and 8 inches long. Clifford is supposed to be a Labrador that is 15 times larger than the average Labrador. So 15 times 6.5 is 97.5 inches. Or by the 8-inch mark, it would be 120 inches. So Clifford's dick is 8 to 10 feet long. And the guy responded,
Jesus,
that's a massive dong. And thanks for the reply. Thought I would never. I almost thought that would never come.
Oh, did you really have to request that? I mean, I feel like that's something you could very easily Google and just be like, all right, I'll multiply that by 15.
Exactly. But
is Clifford 15 feet tall in that trailer? He doesn't look 15 feet, maybe like 10 feet.
He's 15 times taller.
Yeah. Yeah. So if an average lab is like 2.5 feet tall, then sure. Okay. But the whole thing is just, again, slow news week, because we're definitely not going to watch this movie. I didn't even see where it was going to be released.
This is an instance where I'd prefer, if we were talking about this last week, where animation just gets thrown into live action. I'd much rather have an animated Clifford the Red Dog and then everything else be live action.
Absolutely. This is a classic case of just because you can doesn't mean that you should. This looks terrible.
It looks
that's about all I have to say about the Clifford and his big red dong.
Clifford the Big Red Dong. Beautiful. We just got nicknames out the arse today. Can you just imagine though, somebody's out walking their giant dog and he's got his red, it's probably extra red too, the red rocket of the big dog.
Can you even take Clifford on a walk? Like I've had
neon pink.
That shit, dogs just pull you. how do you train a big ass dog like that to like heel? Sorry, nope, that's not gonna work. He's gonna chase that squirrel, and that squirrel is dead, and so is the tree that it was in.
Knocks down a house just to get to the squirrel.
Exactly. Someone did a fucking great bit on the collateral damage of owning Clifford the dog, and I want to find it. I gotta find it.
I feel like that bit probably ends very sadly, where you're talking about how you have to put Clifford down. What kind of fucking elephant tranquilizers or rhino, knockout gas would it take to fucking put Clifford under?
Yeah, it's like Clifford is just the second iteration of Rampage. He's just another one of those Rampage monsters.
Paul's in the chat and he's asking how much would that dog shit. My dog is like smaller than a golden retriever, and he shits constantly. He shits like 6 times a day.
Can you imagine walking your dog and then it's taking a shit and you're just like sitting on your phone waiting for it to be done, and then it just shits on top of you because it's enormous?
You just hear boom, boom, boom. It's just birds hitting the sidewalk.
Yeah, just complete diarrhea over the entire building next to you. You're just like, God damn it. Who's going to clean this up?
An actual sinkhole that just fills with feces.
Smither,
right.
As a suburban dad, how many times per week do you go out back to pick up shit? Do you do it every day or every couple days, or what do you do?
If it's nice out and I'm working in the yard, I'll do it, just every other day. But when it gets cold and shit, like I'm not out there as much, probably once a week, and I kick myself for not doing it more often because there's so much shit.
I'm in the same boat. The worst thing that happened last week though is it got pretty cold here in Chicago. And I was like, perfect. All the shit's going to harden. It's going to be real easy to pick up. And then it starts fucking drizzling and raining. And I'm like, no. It was just fucking mush poop. Mush poop in the backyard. The worst.
Well, that has been our dog poop talk this weekend.
I think it was Louis C.K. that did the Clifford the Big Red Dog bit. I'll find it and put it in the Discord.
You know what? I think you're right. I think I remember that bit now. It also sounds very much like him. And he was probably talking about dog wings too, because it's kind of a weirdo.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's get to our biggest piece of news for the week, I think. A Hollywood Reporter is alleging that Legendary Films' Godzilla vs. Kong is going to be the next big blockbuster movie that's going to end up on a streaming service. It's kind of nice to be them right now because you can basically just start a bidding war and you don't have to release anything until after. Netflix is reportedly offering $200 million to get it, which makes zero sense to me. Netflix, they're raising their prices, right? They're going up by like $3 a tier.
Oh, really?
Fairly certain. Well, yeah, because they have like the lowest level is like $9 and it's only 480p. So it's like if you watch everything on a cell phone or a tablet, that's probably what you can do.
480p, really? Wow. Why did I not know this?
Yeah, but they have, like the 4K options, and they'll still mail you DVDs and Blu-rays if you want to pay for that. But I don't know who's still in that business. But what's the upside for them on this? Like, you already have you're not going to draw $200 million worth of new subscribers because of Godzilla versus Kong.
Maybe they have the extra money to just throw at a big blockbuster too. Maybe they are running out of content. I mean, not running out of content, but I mean, people aren't making as much. People aren't making as much as it usually is. So maybe they can throw 200,000 at this to kind of help sustain, the content that they're delayed in making. Like, when is Stranger Things coming out again? When is that projected to release?
It's been delayed a few times. I think it's supposed to be again around the 4th of July. So it will have been 2 years since we got season 3. But COVID shut down everything. And especially if you're talking about a movie or a show that's full of kids and stuff, like you're not going to put them at risk.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why they're just doing a big free agent acquisition. They're like, fuck it, let's get this big boy, bring him in, and maybe that'll keep people wanting to stay with Netflix. I mean, I don't know, just a good off-season acquisition if it's like a football.
They can still keep knocking it out of the park with their stupid Christmas Switch movies and shit that cost, $500,000 to make. That's what people are clicking on right now. Nobody's sitting down and watching Godzilla versus Kong on Netflix.
Well, I don't know. That's all I know is I've been looking at Netflix and I've been wanting to find another show to watch. It's been sparse.
I think it's the burden of choice thing, though. Like, there's too much on Netflix.
Nothing that looks like super good. Like Queen's Gambit was awesome, but at the same time, limited series.
And they're losing The Office soon.
Right.
Do you think this is the route that Netflix is going to start taking, though? Do you think they just don't really see success in them putting all this money into big name actors for big blockbusters like Triple Frontier and don't see the value in it anymore, where they're like, all right, let's just take this money and try to fucking bid on movies that are already big blockbusters getting made, that we don't have to produce ourselves?
It could be. I don't know what the production budget was for Godzilla versus Kong. It's got to be close to $200 million, right? That's a lot of CG. You're setting up, and there's some pretty big name actors in it. It's got to be close. So if you're legendary and you're just saying like, fuck it, we'll take a very small profit on this and potentially end up just losing money because there's already been some marketing for it and stuff. That's tough if you're Netflix right now.
Yeah.
So, I did have one other little bit of news, actually 2 bits. We can talk about. So back when Bandersnatch came out, the Black Mirror choose your own adventure type thing, we talked about how the people that own Choose Co. LLC, which sounds like the most made up company of all time, was suing Netflix because they're like, you can't say choose your own adventure. That's ours. And Netflix's argument was, well, everybody says choose your own. So you can't own that, even though you have the trademark. Like, it's been broad enough that you can't take this. Who do you think won in this scenario?
I would say Netflix, because didn't Goosebumps do that too?
They may have paid royalties for that. Mark, what's your guess?
Probably Netflix.
Netflix had to pay a settlement, and it's an undisclosed amount, and I'm guessing it wasn't a small amount.
Yeah, it's probably a shit ton if it's undisclosed.
So yeah, no further details about the nature or the amount of the settlement have been revealed, but I'm guessing this was a shitload of money.
Yeah, I would agree.
Probably not like a Godzilla versus Kong level of money, but they got the cash. They don't give a shit. They probably just want this to go away.
Yeah, exactly. And the choose your own adventure style movies were whatever. So they probably made more from Netflix than they would have ever made with any choose your adventure movie they could have produced.
100%. And I always wanted to do, it was just like a dumb idea and I never would have been able to pull it off, but like a YouTube series where you choose your next thing. And at the very end, you get suggestions on YouTube so you can link the movies or the videos. It would have been cool to do something like that. Like, if you chose A, here's your next video. If you choose B, here's your next video. I think that would have been interesting, but I'm not nearly skilled enough or a filmmaker at all to pull something like that off.
Yeah, it seems to take a lot of coordination and planning. Not our strongest suits.
No, definitely not. We have a lot of ideas that we don't follow through on.
Oh, a lot of ideas.
Yeah. So one other little bit of news, and then we can probably move on. There was something released. This is, I think, Hollywood Reporter. A movie called The Adam Project, ADAM, is casting Mark Ruffalo, Ryan Reynolds, Zoe Saldana, and Jennifer Garner. An upcoming sci-fi film on Netflix about a man who's played by Ryan Reynolds, who travels back in time to get help from his 13-year-old self. I don't know what scenario I'd be going back in time to ask my younger, dumber self for help, because I was a complete idiot. I mean, as recently as yesterday, I was a complete fucking moron. I don't know what kind of advice I'd be asking myself, but that's Ryan Reynolds' character as the kid and the one going back in time. Mark Ruffalo plays his dad of the younger kid. This has potential.
Is no trailer, just like an announcement, or what happened?
No trailer, just an announcement. But Netflix turns stuff like this around really quickly.
That's true.
So we talk about how a trailer will be released and then a month later the movie comes, as opposed to 6 months where it's theatrical releases and stuff. I mean, sure, we'll watch it because it'll be on Netflix, and
it's Ryan Reynolds. We're gonna watch it.
It's Ryan Reynolds. We're gonna watch it. You're right.
No. Yeah. Okay, let's take a minute here to continue to plug our Cyberpunk giveaway. I don't know where we went wrong on this, but we're not getting the submissions that I thought we would. It's super easy to enter. Should we just throw the code phrase out there and have more people enter?
I think so, because we're in the middle of the episode. If you're listening to this, you deserve to enter. So
some people fall behind and try to catch up. So the basis of this is we're giving away Cyberpunk 2077, which I swear is coming out December 10th this time. I'm actually going to put in for a couple days off so I can sit back and play this game, when in reality, I'll probably just have to take care of my son. But we're giving this away to a listener who DMs us on Twitter or Instagram with the code phrase. And the code phrase is sandwich punching dingus.
Sandwich punching dingus.
So 3 words. All you have to do is DM that to us at the Chumpcast on Twitter or Instagram. We are giving away a copy of Cyberpunk 2077 on the platform of your choice, Xbox, PlayStation, or PC. If you want a physical copy, let us know. We'll mail it to you. If not, we'll just send you a code. So yeah, game.
If you repost our Instagram post with the hashtag CyberChumps, you get an extra entry.
There you go. So we're running out of time on this. A little bit less than 2 weeks.
Right. Yeah. So apparently, so if it does get delayed, we'll just, of course, delay the
plugging it.
Yeah, we'll just keep plugging it. Exactly.
I might just push back the deadline to like the day before the game comes out.
Isn't that where the deadline is?
I was kind of thinking that's what we were going to do anyways.
Yeah. No, I made it for, I think in 2 days, the 30th I put, but I'm just going to
absolutely push that back at least a week.
Yeah.
Why not just do it till the day of that it releases?
Sure. Why not?
Why not?
Why not? Are you going to get it for PC or what are you going to get it on? Both
I'm
you guys.
PC. I was going to upgrade my PC before this happened, but AMD and NVIDIA both did paper launches for their new graphics cards. You can't get them anywhere unless they're already in pre-built PCs, and I'm not buying a pre-built. Not that there's anything wrong with it. I just don't really trust it, and I'd like to have control over what goes into my PC. It just pisses me off to no end. Like, don't try to release something until you have the supply to meet demand. It doesn't make any fucking sense. And then what you have is just a bunch of people scalping them on eBay for 50% more. It's the same thing with PlayStation and Xbox. That's a little more understandable because that's a holiday season type thing. People probably aren't gifting a GTX 3090. Mm-hmm. But an Xbox I kind of get, and they had way more in stock than either AMD or NVIDIA had. It just really pisses me off.
That's fair, but I'm still good with my graphics card currently, so I'm gonna rip it on PC.
It's gonna blow up my GTX 970, my 7-year-old graphics card, and then I'll have a reason to upgrade. But then I probably still won't be able to get one. Maybe after the first of the year they'll have some more back in stock, but it pisses me off. All right. I think that's probably it for the news. Wow, that fucking shitty news week.
Yeah, nothing happened.
Best.
We the best!
Worst.
The worst! She's the worst person in the world. Huge skank, terrible, but thank you.
All right, I want to kick this off because I got a really short one. But Marshawn Lynch is perpetually the man. Just stays the best human alive. He, every year, there's some clips floating around, and Decker, I think, posted some in the Discord of him talking to like Richard Sherman on the sideline when they were both playing for the Seahawks. And Richard Sherman asked him, like, what are you going to do for Thanksgiving? And Marshawn's like, I'm going back to the hood and I'm going to hand out turkeys to anybody who wants one. And he still does this every year. He goes back to, I think he's from Compton. And he goes back and he just hands out turkeys to families who need them, in the neighborhood where he grew up. I mean, it's just such a great gesture to allow people to have like a good Thanksgiving meal, to get together with their families, even, in a weird time like this. He's such a good dude. And people watch the clips of him and he's not, I think he's hilarious. He's not the most eloquent man on the planet, but I fucking love any interview that he's ever given where he's talking about running through a motherfucker face and stuff like that. I just fucking love him. He's for me, top 5 favorite NFL player of all time.
All time.
Give a shit, which is great.
Yeah, all time name as well. Take care of y'all mentals, y'all body, y'all chicken.
Take care of y'all chicken. I have that.
Now y'all turkeys.
I was actually thinking about him the other day because we bought a bunch of Audible like children's books for Nolan. And I started thinking about like when Snoop Dogg did I think he did a Christmas album or some type of album where he like or it was lullabies. He sang lullabies. And I'm like, this would be fucking great if someone like Marshawn Lynch was just reading these fucking children books for Audible. I would love that. It would make it 10 times better playing an Audible, and it's Marshawn Lynch.
Like when Samuel L. Jackson did Go the Fuck to Sleep.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Marshawn is just like a fun, go-to, carefree kind of guy who's also caring. It's like a weird. He's the man.
He's getting acting gigs. He showed up in Westworld. He's been in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. We need more Marshawn Lynch in our lives.
I agree.
Take care of y'all chicken. You feel me? They'll take care of y'all mentals.
All right, Brick, what do you got?
Sad day for the Austrian village. They are throwing in the towel and changing their name that has been their name for over 100 years. The town of Fugging is changing their name to Fugging, Fugging.
Late.
Super weak. Apparently, the town council was a pretty. They were sick of people going over there and stealing their signs, their fucking signs, and so
I like that. They're fucking signs.
They're fucking signs, and so yeah. So now they're the Fugging town. Their town of Fugging. Yeah, just for historical references. Fugging
do you think that's really going to deter people? Because it's still a funny name.
Fugging is, I guess, but it's just lame. Keep it fucking. You know what I'm saying? Fucking bullshit.
I'm with you. That also reminds me of that brilliant clip that I shared in the Discord right before we started here.
Can we post that in here?
It's an old interview. I don't want to put it up here for fear that we'll be struck down on YouTube because somebody probably has the rights to it. Just Google it. It's basically it's all over the internet right now, but it's Stan Lee, and his former sound engineer is named Aaron Fromm, and he did all these little interviews with Stan Lee about random topics, and someone animated this one, which is great, but it's basically him talking about cursing and how he never does it, but then he continues to like curse all throughout it, and he's talking about how versatile the word fuck is, and he's not wrong, but it's very well done, and it just brought a little joy to my heart to hear Stan Lee's voice again.
I was so scared when I clicked this. I was like, all right, what the hell is this? Is Stan Lee going to basically talk about how people shouldn't be using the word fuck and the reasons why he doesn't? And I swear like a sailor. So that would not be relatable to me at all. But then, yeah, he goes on to talk about how you can use it in any which way you want and how great the word actually is. So it is hilarious.
Completely agree, by the way.
Yeah, it was brilliantly done. I agreed. Mark?
I'm actually going to pull up a photo right here, but I'll give the description from the news article. Basically, what's going on is London is building the first sky pool that hangs 115 feet above this like condominium, and it's connecting the two. So the impressive 25-meter long pool hangs 35 meters above the ground and has been built between the two buildings at the Embassy Gardens, a new residential neighborhood in Nine Elms. So looking at this, it looks really fucking cool. I mean, it's a transparent pool and it's high up in the air. My first thought though is this a good idea? Because they went on to build a walkway right below it. And what I'm thinking of is all the creepers it's going to lure in that will just stand on the walkway looking up and not move.
I think that's below it. I think it's next to it.
No, there's one below as well on the very bottom.
Okay,
is that what you're talking about? Because the one above it is definitely next to it.
Oh, I initially thought this one was below it, but now I can see that it's not. I thought it was a floor down.
Perspective. Yeah. That would be a terrible design if it was the way Mark had it originally explained it. That is an awful design. So one story above would be the pool, and one story below would be a general walkway for people to just peep on you from below.
But you even have the balconies. Like people would just be fucking looking up from their balcony.
Why is that the first? That didn't even cross my mind.
Yeah,
why is that the first thing you think of?
I don't know. It's downtown London. You got to think there's some young, better off people that fucking are going to be swimming there and single. And
like if you see somebody in a bathing suit, you see them in a bathing suit.
I don't know. It's just you're still going to have those creepers. You know what I mean?
Word. I was
Chat points out I would definitely piss in that pool.
that pool definitely has one of those piss pools that where you when you pee it turns a different color, so that everyone peeping below you can see. Oh, that guy's taking a leak.
Is that a real thing? I feel like that is just a fucking myth to scare people.
I don't know. I can't imagine a pool, like a public pool, spending the money. Like that's got to be expensive, right? I think it's just like an old wives' tale that deters kids from pissing in the pool.
I thought it was like a grown-ups or some shit with Kevin James and Adam Sandler.
I mean, they do that in a lot of movies and TV, and I don't know if that actually exists.
Right. The one thing I would say for this pool would be any sort of weather storm, that pool is just going to be spritzing water everywhere. I guess it's already a storm, so it doesn't really matter too much, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't want to get chlorine on me, I guess, but sure. Brick, why did you send me these penises?
So there's a small Belgian town where the mayor put up these little, I guess, Christmas ornaments.
Those are friend. I don't know what you're packing, but that ain't little.
Yeah, so they're like 6 to like, I think they're 6 feet tall, little ornaments that look like dicks. So if you can, yep, those are 100% dicks.
They're Christmas light fixtures. They're
exactly.
The fact gave them like purple heads. What is that? What is it supposed to represent?
I don't know. It just goes viral. It's just this little Belgian town goes viral for these festive season lights. The mayor did issue. Yeah, they did issue an apology, but it's like a really small town. So there's like 100 of these in these little small towns. So it's just like a big, just little bright flames of dicks, just like sprinkled.
There's nothing else that could be other than a dick.
Yeah, in these pottery plants, I can't believe no one had just like the wherewithal to be like, yo, that's a dick, dude. What do you? Can we change the decorations up?
Yeah, that's absurd. All right. Anybody got anything else, or are we going to move on?
Waffles and dicks.
So I do have one headline that I saw that I thought was pretty interesting. Biker with meth falls during race, accidentally shoots himself before getting hit by a car.
Okay. That's
so
unfortunate. But is that karma for
it
fucking
probably
cooking meth?
It was a non-life-threatening injury, so we can kind of laugh about it. But what a dumb idiot. First of all, you have meth. He's probably on meth. And then he racing a motorcycle, nightmare idea, terrible. And then to have your gun just shoot yourself in the hip before getting hit by another car. I can't believe it wasn't a life-threatening emergency. Like, this is it was probably the meth that he was like, actually, I'm fine.
Motorcycle, that guy had a horseshoe up his ass. Motorcycle crash, shooting himself, like Plaxico Burressed himself. That's
straight up
so dumb.
About that.
Paul is in the chat talking about the atomic wedgie murderer, so I want him to follow up on whatever the hell that is. But while we're awaiting that, we can just move on and I'm
assuming it's some guy that just gives wedgies to where it fucking rips through their gooch and kills them. I have no idea how you would even do that.
It has to be first and then give them the atomic wedgie.
Yeah, that's his like signature move. He leaves them dead with an atomic wedgie. Yeah.
He kills them first. He doesn't kill them from wedging. He kills them and then hangs them like I don't know.
Unless he wedgies and then uses like the waistband to choke him out with the atomic wedgie.
It makes me think of, and you guys have heard me talk about this before, the movie Bone Tomahawk with Kurt Russell, where it's like an old Western and they find these Native Americans who are just absolute fucking monsters, just murder people in the most brutal ways. And they pick a guy up, like there's a guy holding him upside down on both ends. They each have his feet, so he's upside down, and they split him down the middle.
No.
I watched that on an airplane, and I'm like covering my phone, like so nobody can see what I'm watching because it's the most scarring shit I've ever heard of and seen. But I remember we were in San Diego. I went out there with some friends, and I made one of the guys we were with watch it, and he was like actually emotionally disturbed for a very long time. He's like, I can't believe you made me watch that. I'm like, dude, it's just a movie. It's not real. Some people.
It looks real. It's not real though.
It did look very real. It was. Bone Tomahawk is an actual good movie. It's on Amazon Prime. You should actually check it out. It's if that snippet of what I just said is any indicator, I'm sure Mark will love it. But
I heard Green Inferno is a really fucked up movie like that too.
Green Inferno. That one
It's
doesn't
like about the tribe of people who capture the like students studying abroad, and they just torture them. I guess it's really fucked up.
Okay.
2013 or 1988.
I'll be right back.
All right, we got the follow up from Paul. He says, I think he gave his stepdad a wedgie and the underwear asphyxiated him. So Brick, you were onto it. You nailed it, man.
Yeah, wow.
Maybe
I am.
Band. Okay. All right. This week we had very little to choose from. I have a feeling these are going to ramp up in the coming weeks as we get more stuff being released, especially around Christmas, dude. Christmas is going to be great. Wonder Woman and Soul. But
ooh, yeah.
In the meantime, we had to fill this up. So we watched Run on Hulu, starring Sarah Paulsen. Currently at 90% on Rotten Tomatoes, 76% from fans. I don't get it. I don't get why people like this. We'll get into it, I'm sure, but whatever. Let's get some more bullshit out of the way here. This was directed by a guy named Anish Shagantri. He is an Indian gentleman who has done a few films. Nothing that I really recognize. Nothing that I've heard. Oh, wait. He did Searching.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, we did talk about this. Searching was a brilliant fucking movie. It's basically all from the viewpoint of a computer, and a man's daughter disappears, and it's shit. What's the guy's name?
John Cho.
John Cho. Thank you. Yeah, that's an excellent movie. This one, not so much, but sure. We have Sarah Paulsen, who we discussed. Mark, do you want to go ahead and make your very prejudicial statement about who she's married to?
Oh, yeah. I always forget, but now I'm not going to forget. She's married to Charlie Sheen's mom in 2.5 Men. And she's, 50 years older than her? Kind of weird.
I don't know why that bothers you so much.
It's kind of weird. Just seeing pictures of them together. I don't know. It's just weird.
Okay. We've also got Kira Allen, who plays the daughter, Chloe. Hasn't really been in anything else, but she did okay. So the premise of this is Sarah Paulsen is the mother of a very prematurely born baby. And so you're led to believe that this daughter has all these, like a heart arrhythmia, diabetes. She's a paraplegic, can't walk, so she's in a wheelchair. So that's like the premise of this. But even if you just watch the trailer, you get the feeling like something's not right. The mom's hiding something, maybe trying to keep her there. Isn't that what you call Munchausen syndrome?
Munchausen's by proxy. Yeah, when the mother does it.
Yeah, so she's the one who's basically making people think that her daughter's very sick.
Yeah, because there's times where the person actually thinks they're sick. And that's just Munchausen's, I believe.
Yeah, so I did not enjoy this movie at all. The last 2 nights in a row, I tried to watch it before I went to bed. So Eric is asleep. I'm watching it in bed. Fell asleep both times. Couldn't get through it. Had to finish it this morning. I literally finished it like 15 minutes before we started this. And I was just like, this is fucking terrible. So I don't understand the good ratings on Rotten Tomatoes. Maybe I missed something. Mark, what did you think?
I think the one thing you went wrong with is stopping the movie 3 times, it sounds like, or whatever, twice.
I didn't stop it. I just fell asleep.
Well, you seem tired, because I thought it was there was a lot of anticipation and high tense scenes. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed both performances from the mom and the daughter. There were some scenes with the daughter where, I don't know, it just makes you think like, all right, what is she going to do to get out of this situation? And some of the scenes were unexpected. I just thought it was, we had some instances where we got this sort of thing in previous movies, like Sixth Sense is one that comes to mind, where this thing happens. But this is an actual thing that truly happens in real life, and it's really fucked up to think. But I thought it was portrayed pretty good, and the ending was satisfying, and it is actually the most watched film on Hulu right now. So people are obviously enjoying it or interested in it to where they're watching it. And I think they did a pretty good job with it.
I feel as though this is kind of the Netflix thing, though, where they have the top 10 and everything. And Netflix's new self-produced movies are always in the top 10. They're always pushing it on you because of course they want a bunch of people to watch it. And I feel like Hulu kind of did the same kind of thing, where this was always on the landing page no matter which profile you logged into. But this is based on a real life story, which is the reason I was drawn to it in the first place, the trailer at least, is that I knew the story. The story of Gypsy Rose and her mom, Dee Dee Blanchard, who did basically the same thing. And there are documentaries on it, and that was, to me, more interesting than this movie was. But Brick, what do you think?
I felt like from the trailer and everything, I had a feeling that I knew what was coming, but I felt it was still engaging because of how intense a lot of the scenes were. Because as the daughter, they really did a good job of making you feel helpless and her in that helpless situation. And she was in a lot of different times where I felt claustrophobic, like for her. And so when you get the feeling of one of those actors, it just kind of brings you more into the movie. I put this on to start out and I was like, oh, I'll just like watch this, but be like on my phone, but like watch it. I put my phone down immediately and I was just engaged the whole time. I think they did a really good job for a thriller and a horror movie to make you feel helpless. And I thought that was a good job that they did within the movie. And I knew what was going to happen, but it didn't detract from the movie at all.
I feel like Erica would like this movie a lot. Kelly was really into this movie.
I tried to tell her that because Erica loves true crime and like actual documentaries on stuff like this. I was like, this is way more up your alley than it is mine. She's like, nah. I joke about her all the time. Like, she loves true crime. And I'm like, you just love murder. But she won't watch horror movies or anything like that. She only likes real murder. She doesn't like fake murder. It's got to be somebody real actually dying for her to be interested in it.
That's her two interests are Disney movies and murder.
Yep. Nailed it. I don't know what the dichotomy is there. Like why such a stark contrast, but that's the way she is. And she's not the only one. A lot of her friends are the same fucking way. I don't get it. All right. I think that I will say that the ending of this movie was very satisfying. Sarah Paulsen, I know I'm saying bad things about this movie, but she was excellent in this. She was very believable and she makes you hate her, which is exactly what she was supposed to do.
Exactly.
So, yeah. And they do a very good job as well of setting up her background and how she's actually very intelligent. Like she's a substitute teacher for like a calculus class or some shit. And she's homeschooling her daughter, and her daughter's trying to get into the University of Washington and all this shit. And it was very believable. Like I got it. There was nothing where I was like, no fucking way that's going to happen. And
there was one scene. One scene.
Can you tease it without spoiling it?
In the line of the pharmacy with the elephant dart of tranquility.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that was kind of out there, but
there was like 15 people in that line.
I could just see like, okay, so the girl in the wheelchair, the daughter, basically cuts all of these people, and I could see Mark being the guy that's like, no, get to the back of the line.
Also, I thought of Mark immediately when she was in the movie theater and just sitting in the aisle and just like, sir, can you move? This is a handicap seat. I was here first, bitch.
I would move.
When he goes to the bathroom. Yeah, that's.
Did you guys pick up on the big reveal spoiler at the end?
Yeah,
big reveal.
I mean,
yeah,
pretty obvious.
Like halfway, did you start to think like this was going to be the case halfway through the movie? Okay,
no, I didn't.
So it was a surprising kind of twist.
Yeah, it got me too. I was like, ooh.
The last 30 seconds of this movie were the best part of the movie. And I also find myself when I'm not that into a movie and someone gets hurt, I find it much more comical than it's a movie that I'm actually enjoying. So when she just yeets herself down the stairs, I might have laughed a little bit.
Yeah.
You sick fuck.
I
can't. Your stairs are slippery as fuck, and you see people fall down the stairs all the time.
Yeah. No way, dude. I got a carpet runner installed.
You got carpet, huh?
Anymore, yeah.
In a while.
Yeah. All right. I think that probably wraps up our thoughts on Run. Should we rate it and move on?
I'm going to say see it.
Brick?
See it.
Say skip it. Do it.
If you watch the trailer for this and it piques your interest, I would say save it.
Okay.
If you're really bored and you're looking for something to watch, it's fine. There are some decent performances. It's a fairly low budget movie with some interesting thoughts, but I think maybe having seen the documentary on Dee Blanchard, it was just kind of ruined for me. So
what is yours? What is your official?
I'm going to say save it.
Okay.
Do you think anyone saw our see it, save it, skip it from last week for Jiu-Jitsu and saw your guys' rating and was like, yo, I'm actually going to watch this right now?
We were very upfront with that. We said, like, this is a very stupid movie, but it's also extremely enjoyable.
Yeah, it's entertaining as fuck.
All right, let's move on to our recommendations for the week, and then we can get out of here because I need to go watch my child. Mark, what you been watching, playing, doing?
You know what I was doing this morning while I was eating my my Belgian waffles and eggs is watching the new Shawn Mendes Netflix documentary, In Wonder. It's actually pretty great.
What? Okay.
I swear. I love those documentaries, especially like the Bieber one. Brick, you know about the
Never
Bieber
say
one.
never. I got Bieber fever watching that.
It's one of those, but Shawn Mendes didn't come into fame as early as Bieber, so it's just it follows him through some of his concerts and like how he got big. He is a pretty interesting story. I would say watch it if you like the whole pop scene and all the celebrity and artists that we have now.
Yo,
Okay.
that scene when Usher comes through the floor and they start doing that song.
Yeah.
So good. So good.
Did either of you buy anything for Black Friday?
I didn't. I was waiting for Cyber Monday because I wasn't about to go into the stores or anything like that.
No, but all these deals have been pretty much for the entire month of November. I haven't seen anything that was mind-blowing that wasn't already on sale.
Exactly. Doorbusters is where it's at, but no one's doing doorbusters.
And you shouldn't be either way. So
Exactly.
I bought a mesh wireless network for my parents so that their internet will finally work and they'll stop calling me about it. But that was on sale. But I did buy myself
That was good for you.
a Samsung Galaxy Tab S6 Lite. And normally they're about $500. I got this on sale with all the markdowns and a trade-in of an old crappy broken phone for $150. So
Nice.
it's a 2-inch tab, perfect for streaming anything. It comes with a pen, so if you're going to do any kind of photo editing and stuff like that. That was kind of my selling point to my wife. It was like, we'll get a Photoshop Express or whatever. Gonna take pictures of the kid and alter them any way you need to. I'm pretty happy with it so far. You can read comics on it, watch whatever, and yeah, it's good. I pulled up the D&D Beyond app and got into some light reading on some of the, I guess, the content outside of the normal player's handbook. Some cool shit out there. So that was fun. I also finished Miles Morales, and I hated the ending for it. So
Correct.
I can't really talk about it without spoiling it. Just there are certain things in superhero movies or games or even comics. There are tropes that just piss me off to no end, and they lean pretty heavily on one here. So I'll leave it at that. Game's still awesome. Still gameplay's amazing.
How long did it take you?
It's pretty short. I 100%ed it probably in under 12 hours.
Damn. 8 to 12.
But there's still plenty of stuff to go back and do.
Sure.
It's for a $50 game. It was good. I recommend that. But
Okay.
Brick, what do you got?
For all my VR fans out there, Population 1 is the new game that came out. That is it's like teams of 3 battle royale. It's kind of like players
are. Fuck. I was gonna
Players Unknown Battleground.
play it.
Yeah, so it's Players Unknown Battleground basically. It's just in VR. So you in the VR and you're diving from the helicopter, flying into a place, and then it's you and 2 other friends versus I think it's 18 people total. I think it's a smaller version of it, but it's VR, so it's free roaming, just in this earth playing. It's VR.
Okay. Decent. I also wanted to bring up one other thing. Mike Tyson's fighting tonight.
Oh yeah.
Roy Jones Jr. I mean, Mike Tyson is clearly juicing his fucking brains out, and he's going to have a exhibition boxing match. And
Are they're wearing headgear and everything? And didn't they say no knockouts or something?
What?
I saw like a rule sheet, and I don't know if it was fake, but there were a couple things I was like, what the fuck? It was okay. It's like, this is an exhibition. There will be no knockouts. I think they mentioned they're going to be wearing headgear, no gambling on it. And there was just, I don't know. It just didn't seem appealing from what they were kind of marketing it as.
That's interesting that you said no gambling. I hadn't seen that, but I was also unable to find a line on it. So that's weird. But
yeah,
why would you? What's the point of even having this fight if you're not going to let people gamble on it?
I don't know.
I still want to see it. They look about the same size.
Mike Tyson, crazy. Roy Jones Jr. has put on some weight ever since he retired from his fighting career. Mike Tyson, he's going to eat him alive. Roy Jones Jr. is a hell of a boxer, but he's not Mike Tyson. And I've been watching the clips of Mike Tyson training, and he is fucking huge, and he looks like a killer.
Yeah, Mike Tyson is 54. People forget Roy Jones Jr. is 51. Not that much of a difference in age there.
Yeah, I have zero faith in Roy Jones Jr. to win this fight. But also, one of my favorite bulls of all time, Nate Robinson, is fighting Jake Paul.
Let's go. Nasty Nate. I met him in Seattle.
I'm going to put some money on Nate Robinson. He's plus 200 to win outright. So
how much bigger is Jake Paul?
There? Nate Robinson's like he's a professional athlete.
Right. But height is pretty big. 5'9", 180. How big is Jake Paul?
I mean, I know that Nate Robinson was small for an NBA player, but he's not small for a normal person.
5'9" versus 6'1". Don't have a weight on here. But I'm with you. Nasty Nate's gonna take him down.
I mean, he won a fucking dunk contest. Dude, the guy's insane, an insane athlete. I don't see how, I mean, obviously he's been training for this fight. I don't see how Nate Robinson loses. Cut to Nate Robinson getting knocked out, but whatever. That'll be interesting. If you want to pay for that for whatever reason, it's like $50 to stream it. I'll probably just find a pirated stream somewhere. I ain't paying $50 for this shit.
Panda Claus, we're on Twitch. We're streaming on both, and I'm looking at it right now. It should be up, which is weird if you're not seeing it, but yeah, we are on Twitch.
We also had somebody else in the chat, Paul, who we did our best to interact with. We do actually have to get this out for a podcast as well, so it's not all just an online stream. We do appreciate the questions, and we appreciate that you stuck with us the whole time. Come back next week, and I promise we'll bring in some more of your questions. We're just kind of on a time crunch this week. So that said, I think this is going to wrap it up for episode 223 of the Chumpcast. Make sure you send us your entry for our Cyberpunk giveaway. You can follow us everywhere at the Chumpcast. Our D&D stream is back this Tuesday night around 7:30 p.m. Central. That's Twitch only. So check that out. It'll be our 24th entry into this campaign. We're probably over 100 hours into this campaign now. And I think we're only halfway through it. So it's been intense.
I made it about 2 hours in and got killed and never got back.
Yeah, so good times. I guess I'll let Mark take it away.
Wait, before that, should we do a viewing party for this in our Discord for the fights tonight or what?
I can make that happen.
I'd be down.
Maybe we will actually pay for it. I don't know if I get everybody to throw in a couple bucks.
Yeah, I'd be down.
Yeah.
I want to mention one thing. If you want to pick up a winter Chumpcast hat, we have two colors available, black and purple. And we have our Black Friday sale going on at our Etsy store. You're going to get 25% off with code Black Friday 25. So head to our Etsy store. The link is also in our Instagram. So yeah, if you want to cop one of these hats, they're on sale right now.
Wow, the lime green was limited edition, huh?
It was. I was telling people I only got 5 of those, and they went pretty fast. I didn't know how they were going to turn out too. And when I got them in, they were pretty dope looking, and I was like, these are probably going to be the first ones to sell out.
And they were, because there were only 5. But yeah, in.
All right, y'all. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time.
Jumps out, motherfucker.
Hey,